Hey everybody, my name is Angel H Rivera. The person you just saw briefly is my niece Nico. I know that the title of this video is going to be a dad's trip to New York, but I'm not a dad, but I have spent plenty of time living in New York and taking various nieces and nephews. What I'm hoping to do with this YouTube channel is for all you people out there who are thinking about going to New York and trying to figure out the best places to go and the best ways to do it. Now, there are plenty of other travel vlogs on YouTube, such as Here Be Bar and Sarah Funky, that are great. They're awesome, and a lot of my stuff are doing here. But what I wanted to do is that most of the people that do those travel sites live in New York, and I no longer live in New York. I went to college up there, and I spent about 10 years there overall. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and there's a lot of you that are also living not on the East Coast, not on the West Coast, but in the middle, which I like to call America. So for those of you that are wanting to go to New York and to visit, like I say, I'm currently at the airport here in San Antonio, Texas. So I'm just like all of you. So I'm going to show you how to do a great New York trip. We'll be there for roughly 2.5 days because we're not going to get there till 3. And hopefully you enjoy what we do. Say goodbye, Nico.
Bye-bye.
Next stop, I will be in New York. We'll be landing at LaGuardia Airport, and I'll take you from there. Thanks a lot. Bye. Hi, this is Angel again. I've just landed at LaGuardia. When you're coming to New York, if you have a choice. Now, me personally, I use Orbitz and Expedia because I'm cheap, and I highly recommend using them as a way to get here to New York. Of course, there's always 3 places: LaGuardia, Newark, which is in Jersey, and JFK. If you happen to know, and if you do, then you're probably not watching this video. When you're landing at JFK, you can always just take the A train straight into Midtown. 275, I believe, is what the subway is right now until August 20th, and then it's 290. It's really, really cheap way to get there, especially if you don't have bags. I'm currently here again with my sister and my niece, so we're gonna have bags. We're here at LaGuardia. It's the cheapest way if you're gonna take a taxi from one of the major airports to here. You're looking at about $100 from JFK or Newark to get into Midtown, and with LaGuardia, you're looking at roughly 75. Now, with standard yellow taxis, there's a standard fee, so you're thinking, oh, that's all you got to pay, but that doesn't include tolls. The tolls are then later added to your bill along with a tip. 15 to 20% is your average coming in. And the other thing about LaGuardia is, for those of you that last came to NYC until 2005, LaGuardia has improved significantly. It's no longer just a dive that looked new back in 1878 or whenever they first built LaGuardia Airport. It's really, really nice now. So if you have a choice between 3, go ahead and come to LaGuardia, and I will see you guys. Next stop is probably going to be Times Square, or at least the hotel I like in Times Square, and explain why I like to go there, or take a hotel in Times Square, whereas everyone else tells you to go somewhere else. See you later. I have several rules about New York when you're coming here. Number 1, don't look afraid. Just don't. People can smell that. It's kind of like a prison. Okay, you don't want to look afraid, like you don't know what you're doing. Just walk confidently no matter what. Number 2, keep moving. No matter what you thought you saw, heard, felt, smelt, you're gonna want to keep moving. That's the way the city operates. Just keep going and get to your destination. 3, we'll be going to Times Square a little later on today. I think we're actually going to go down. I'll be showing you another great place that I love here in New York for food. But do not talk to anybody in Times Square, period. If anyone tries to get your attention, ignore them. They're all trying to scam you, all right? Whether it's the costume characters, whether it's somebody trying to give you a CD, whether they're fake Buddhist monks or whatever it is, they're going to try. Now, Again, like I said, I like to stay at the Millennium because number one, or in Times Square at any of these hotels here in Times Square, the view is simply amazing. All right. You're not gonna get this view in Long Island City. You're not gonna get it in Chelsea. You're not gonna get it in any other spots. This can only be seen in Times Square. And again, that's why you're here in New York. You want to see all the sights. You want to get wrapped up in the energy of the city. Now, if you're making several trips to New York, I agree. Go ahead and stay somewhere else now that you've gotten it. But the convenience of staying in Times Square, you're in the middle of everything. You're basically, if you're a tourist, you're not going to go much further than Greenwich Village unless you're going to the Statue of Liberty and Wall Street. You're not going to go much further than Central Park. You're not going to go much east than Grand Central Station. You're not going to go much west. You're not even going to hit the Jacob Javits Center unless you're on some sort of convention here. So you're going to do shopping. You're going to have next to the Broadway Place, and you're going to be able to people watch. There's going to be so much hustle and bustle of everything that's happening that you're going to get wrapped up in it. So again, my own personal advice, spend the extra money, come to Times Square, have yourself a blast. All right. Next stop, gonna get some pizza. Stay tuned for that. So here we are, Washington Square Park in the middle of Greenwich Village, otherwise known as Friends Central, NYU Central, and where the counterculture basically started. Right over here, you're gonna see the arch. Behind me is a fountain, and as you can check it out, it's pretty lively here on a random Saturday night in August. All the students have finally come in. Everyone's starting to get ready for the big hullabaloo that is the coming school year. One of the best parts about Greenwich Village is there's so much to do. We have a dog park, we got kids can play, but just from a cultural aspect, this place is awesome. Down over here is again was where Nico Street Pizza was. Right over here was Grace Papaya, which to me was the best hot dog around. Over to where the camera's pointing now, if you keep walking that way, it's where you're gonna hit the crazy parts of the village. You'll see Cafe Wall, where Bob Dylan and so many other people play. You also have the Comedy Center, which is always a great time to have, provided that you're legal enough to enter it. A couple blocks further down that way, you also have a whole bunch of piercing stores. They do not do piercings of anyone under the age of 18. They're afraid that you're a pimp and you're coming in to pierce some prostitutes. That's literally what happened. Boston Comedy Club was right over here. You can also see Freedom Tower right here, and right up here you're going to see the Empire State Building. Washington Square Park, great place. So like I say, when you come down, you're going to take any of those lines, the blue or the orange, get off on Washington West 4th, and just literally walk around. There isn't much you also have to do. You're going to have a great time. You can easily spend 3 to 4 hours here. We just spent the past 2 getting lost because I'm normally walking around this place during the day. I didn't really come to Washington Square Park at night when I was in college here because I was on 116th Street, not on West 4th. But again, counterculture, NYU, great place. Check out our next one. So one of the things about New York is it's always busy. Right now we are on a Saturday night, August 12th, and you can see it's pretty hopping. It's barely going to be 10 o'clock. Times Square is crazy. Now another one of the things about New York, God, I got way too much right here, is some things get a little too famous, and I'm not able to try them until later. So I'm here trying Adele's famous halal food. It's supposed to be the best in the city. So I'm hoping it's going to be really, really good. I already got my 2 Snapples that I bought from it's so weird because like I'm so used to calling it Dwayne Reed, even though it's Walgreens now. I'm just used to New York being the home of Dwayne Reed and CVS. So we're going to try it out. And just to let you know how famous this place is, that's the line. Is there better halal food? Don't know. I know there's worse. I know I really enjoy halal food. I have to get it every time I'm in the city. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the chicken or the lamb. If one of my brothers was here, he'd be getting the lamb for sure. But let's try the chicken. The yellow rice, the white and the red sauce. That's the good stuff. So my point is that when you're here in New York, you have to try different things. You got to open up your mind. That's why you're here. That's why you're coming to the greatest city in the world to explore things that you can't find in wherever you're coming from, whether it's southern Florida, northern Wisconsin, or western Idaho. It doesn't matter. You're coming here for the experience. You're coming here to try the different stuff. And even if you hate it, even if it's not something you like, you can tell with a factual face, I tried that place. That wasn't so good. And no one can say anything about it. You actually went ahead and, tried something out. So, Times Square coming up next. One of the things you're going to want to do is get plenty of rest at the end of the night. Be sure that you give yourself at least a solid 8 hours. There's a couple of rules that I haven't told you about when you guys do come here. Number one, try not to look like a tourist. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Don't look like you're out there looking to get mugged. You're going to want to buy New York gear, something that says New York. It's going to happen. Don't fight it. The kids are going to want something. The wife's going to want something. It will occur. The best thing to do is even New Yorkers wear New York gear. Now, they're not going to wear an I Love New York shirt or anything like that, but they'll wear something that says Brooklyn or, every once in a while Queens or just something that says NYC. So get yourself a hat. It's the quickest way to kind of look like you might be from New York. All right. But you're not representing that you are because NYC cats are all around. So that's what I end up doing here. And another thing, and I cannot stress this enough. Wear comfortable footwear. Make sure everybody wears comfortable footwear. Tell your wife and daughters that when they go out, when you're going to have that nice dinner and they want to dress up, wear your heels. Only going to the restaurant, like wear regular shoes, put your heels in a bag, and then right before you get there, change them out. And that way you can look nice because I'm telling you, you do not want to be walking these streets. Ask some of the girls that are now there on 10th Avenue. You do not want to be walking these streets in heels, block after block after block. It ain't going to happen. My credit if you do manage to do it, salud, good for you. But comfortable footwear. My shoes that I'm wearing today are for my sister. As you can see, they have a real thick padding on there to give me plenty of time. You may even want to wear something on a sneaker. If it's tight, go the next size up, the next half size up, because your feet are going to swell also by the end of the night. All right. Thank you very much. We'll check you later. Right now, we're on the Upper West Side, not the biggest tourist area around. There's not really a lot to see, but if you have a certain child that's going to be graduating from a certain Ivy League institution that's right up the street off of 116, this is going to be one of the places that you have to come to. It's where I would come to when I went down to that certain college. It's called Best Bagels between 107 and 108. How would you know exactly where it is? There's a line. It makes it real simple to find. And again, not a lot. We have St. John's the Unfinished, which is going to be this way off of 110. You'll know on the subway it's 110 because it's Cathedral Parkway. Also, when you're up here, there's only one subway that comes up to this area, which is the one train, which you might remember from a certain engine number 9. Number 9 is not around anymore. It's only the one. So another thing you're going to want to do when you come in here is knowing where to use the restroom because most places will not allow you to go. My recommendations are number 1, Starbucks. Starbucks are really pretty good about that. Number 2, a hotel. Just walk right in and say, hey, where's the restroom real quick? And they're normally pretty good. You got to be a little bold. You can't be real shy like my 16-year-old niece. She doesn't like to talk to anybody whatsoever. And then there's another app out there called Sit or Squat. Download it, put in information on where you are, and they'll let you know where the nearest restroom is. We're going to get a bagel. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I can't count how many times I've been up here, and we'll see you on the next one. This is Times Square. This is why they come. Now, it doesn't seem as busy anymore. There's probably more people here than wherever you work at, including that entire block. And this is what happens. Now, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of chain restaurants around here. Do not eat at a chain restaurant. You did not come to New York City just to end up at an Olive Garden or McDonald's. There's plenty of other places. Right beside the Hard Rock Cafe is Los Tacos #1. Some of the best street tacos. And this is coming from a Mexican. If a Mexican said to you it has good street tacos, it has damn good street tacos. But you also have the different stores right over here in New York. Yes. Now, when it comes to the gift shops, you can always, the further away you go from Times Square, the cheaper the gifts are going to be. Later on, we'll probably be going to Chinatown, which is also that place, and there's a ton of cheap gift shops in the area. You can also go to a Walgreens or a Plain Meat, and they'll have little souvenirs there for you. But another reason, again, as I was talking about, why you want folks out here in Times Square is you're going to go shopping. You're going to carry bags. What are you doing right now before we go to TKTS? Dropping stuff off. You're also going to want to have a little satchel. It's not a member's satchel. All right? Because as a dad, you're going to be the one carrying things. You just are. Your wife might carry her shopping bags, but she's not going to carry the kids' shopping bags. That's not going to happen. So just be prepared to have little things, that are going to be set inside here. So again, have a great time when you come, and we'll check it out. Okay, so here we are at TKTS. It's a cheap, great way in order to see a Broadway show. You can't come to New York and not see a Broadway show. It's just impossible. Every time I come, even the nieces and nephews are like, do we really have to? Yes, we really have to. You have to see a Broadway show right here. Now, the way TKTS operates is let's say there's a show that has huge box of tickets that they have sold for $120 each. They'll sell them to TKTS for $60. They'll sell them to you for $80. So you're thinking you're getting $120 ticket for only $80, which is technically accurate. So it's a way in order to see a great show and not have to pay as much money. Now, not every show comes to TS, especially the super popular ones. So Hamilton's not going to be here. And then some have their own service. Now, there are other ways to see great shows, and by all means, go ahead and use them. To me, half the fun is finding out what show we're going to watch. Now, me personally, I'm hoping for Back to the Future, but I'm not exactly sure if my niece and my sister want to see that. Katie sounds also supposed to be really good. But this is how I've seen School of Rock. Phantom was here forever. Forever. Cats was here. I saw that 3 times. TKTS. So it's a great way to see a show, not pay as much money, and you have that little bit of air of mystery of like, ooh, what are we going to watch? I don't know what's available. So when you're coming here with your family, dads, this is the way to actually see your show. There's going to be a little sign over here that has everything that they have available for that particular day. Also, if you're here on a Sunday, TKTS opens at 11 o'clock. A lot of shows have what's called the matinee show at 3 o'clock. Those tickets are even cheaper than later on tonight, right? So, next stop, I think Fifth Avenue. I'm not exactly sure. See you there. All right, so here we are at Columbus Circle, which is right behind me. It used to be a real famous spot, and I don't remember why. But it does have a name, Columbus Circle. As you can see, it's a little block here. We are at the edge of Central Park. Coming to New York, we all know you're going to want to go to Central Park. Central Park runs from Columbus Circle, which is basically Broadway and 8th Avenue, all the way down to 5th Avenue. It's a really big park, man-made. This isn't the way New York used to look back in the 1600s. It was actually created by a guy named Olmsted, who also helped design the White City for the Great Chicago Fair in 1898, I believe it was, or whenever that was fair in Chicago. Anyway, a lot of things to do in Central Park. You have the Great Lawn. You have boating that you can also do. You can chase the squirrels, chase the pigeons. There's just a ton of things to do in Central Park. You also have that John Wick scene where everybody stops and starts again when he starts running through Central Park, and that was the reason why you went to go see John Wick 3, even though it's nowhere near as good of a movie. But Central Park is a must-do. Enter anywhere on 59th Street. That's what comes down here. And again, you're going from Columbus Circle all the way down to the Plaza.
Now, if you're at the plaza, salud, you're obviously doing very well in life. I can't afford that place. It's just way too much money. And then just walk around. What's going to end up happening is once you get an exit, you're either going to be on Fifth Avenue, you're going to be on Central Park East or Central Park West, and then walk out. And you'll start recognizing things and you'll know exactly where you are. But again, have yourself a great time. Here we are inside Katz's Deli, where we have the best pastrami around. I love the pickles here. My sister just had some of the corned beef and some of the pastrami because they'll give you a little sample bit. She actually really enjoyed the chicken noodle soup.
Oh, yeah, good.
And my niece tried a hot dog, which see, you can see the pastrami now. Again, any place that requires carvers for your pastrami, you know how nice and juicy it is. And we all like it nice and juicy. All right, everybody have a great day. You know, I may not eat for the rest of the day. Like, that's how great the time is. Everyone have a good time. Bye. Hey, we are here at the world famous Macy's. Now, the one piece of advice I can tell you is do not let the crappy Macy's at your hometown deter you from coming here. All right, it is the spot if you want to do any sort of real shopping. They have all your major brands, including some luxury. How big is it? 8 stories, one full New York City block. All right, it is massive. 2 things you should know about. Number 1, they no longer sell kids' shoes. Really weird. You would think that a place this big would sell them, but they don't. So no kid shoes can be brought here. And number 2, there is a little spot right on the other side here where Sunglass Hut is. When the original Mr. Macy was building this place, he was buying up the entire parcels of land because he wanted the biggest store ever known to man. His competitor, which was also on 23rd Street, decided no. So he bought that one parcel out of sheer pettiness. So that's the part that's the only part of this entire city block which you can't access Macy's in. It's amazing. Sheer pettiness can accomplish so much. So I have to come up to my sister and my niece because they've completely abandoned me. You know, this happens all the time when women go shopping. There's like, oh, the man, no, he's just there to carry things. And let's face it, fellow dads, they're right. All right. So we'll see you guys at the next clip. Bye. Hey, everybody. We are here right outside of Times Square at Junior's Cheesecakes. Now, there's plenty of people that want to say that there's other cheesecakes, and there are. I hear Eileen's down off of the Village on 61 Cleveland is supposed to have the best cheesecakes around. But there's a reason why Junior's created an empire, and it's because of the cheesecake. I'm only able to have like the slightest little bit because I'm diabetic. But for you dads out there, if you want to be sure that your wife is treated very, very well and that she loves you forever, bring her to Junior's and buy her a slice of cheesecake. She will love you for it. Because we all know just how much women love sweets. So, after you're done with the fancy dinner somewhere, we'll actually be hitting Carmine's tomorrow and I'll be broadcasting from there. But don't get dessert anywhere else. Just come to Junior's Cheesecakes and get yourself a slice of cheesecake. There's actually 2 on Times Square. One of them is off of 45th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. And the other one is off of 7th Avenue as you're walking towards 50th. You can't miss them. You'll see them. All right? We'll see you guys at the next one. Hey, we are here starting our day off at the famous Harry Potter store. Now, as a dad, you may be a Harry Potter fan, you may not. I don't know. But if your kids are, this is a must. You have to come here. They got so many different items. It's on 22nd, 5th Avenue. I'm sorry, it's on 22nd and 5th Avenue, right behind the world famous Flatiron building. And again, if your kids are a fan or your wife's a fan or you're a fan, you have to come here. I cannot properly state how awesome this place is. It's 3 floors and they have dang near everything. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and switch it off, and they have their own little rooms, and then as soon as once you walk in, you have wands. They have so many different character wands. Right over here, you can see Ron Weasley, Draco Malfoy, Bellatrix, just about everyone. They don't have the oh my god, I'm gonna come across as such a muggle right here. The Defense Against the Dark Arts second guy, the Kenneth Branagh guy, because they didn't have it last time I came. But I got to get into the Harry Potter business because this place makes too much money. You have to figure that every single person that comes through these doors buys at least one wand. All right. At 30 to 40 bucks a pop, that is an insane amount of money. They're making rent just on the wands. All right. Like one day. Like I said, they have multiple things. You have the Gryffindor. You go here. You go down. And for those of you that are wondering what butterbeer actually is, because you didn't read the books, you only saw the movies, like myself, butterbeer is butterscotch. They have the butterbeer, and then they have the butterbeer ice cream, which is butterscotch seasoning, or sauce, I guess you would say, topping. Like I'm saying, you have, if you're a Potter fan. Now, if you're not a Harry Potter fan, you can totally skip this. 23rd and 5th, like saying, unless you somehow want to see the Flatiron Building, that's a must see on there. There's really not a huge reason to come to this side of town. It's more of a New Yorkers area for it. But we will check you guys on the next one. Bye. So wait, 1 second. This is Times Square at 11 p.m. Technically, it is a school night, and you can see exactly how packed it still is. Whereas the town you just came from, everyone's been asleep for about an hour. This is why you decided to come here. This is why you decided to check out the greatest city on the planet. And this is why I recommend staying in Times Square, especially for your first trip, because your family will never forget such an occasion. Hey everybody, this is a little breakfast spot we discovered. They have lunch here too. It's called LBQ. It's down the block from the Harry Potter store. Once you leave and you pay for everything, you're gonna get out of a certain exit. You're gonna take a right, go down to the end of the block. Everything here is baked fresh daily. I got a little side salad with my ham and cheese croissants. The cheese was really good. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Guyere, and it's really, really good. We loved it. The croissants were amazing. Just like in Ratatouille, you heard that crackle symphony of sounds when you get into it. I highly recommend it. So again, coming to New York from the family from the Harry Potter store, give this place a try. You're not going to be disappointed. Okay, everybody have a good day. All right, we are here on 5th Avenue. This is Shopping Central. It is the Rodeo Drive of New York City. We are currently on 59th Street, otherwise known as Central Park South. We have Central Park right here to my left, where you're gonna want to go. You really do have to see Central Park. Behind me is the Plaza, one of the best hotels in New York. It's one of the first luxury hotels. If you have the money to stay at the Plaza, can I have any of your money? Because you clearly make way too much and you can afford to give it to other people. Right behind me was CBS Studios. It is currently also the Apple Store. Right next to it where FAO Stores used to be. I actually used to work there. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before. If you start here, you're going to walk roughly 9 blocks until you get to Rockefeller Center. You're going to stay on this street. As we go down, we have Bergdorf Goodman. For those of you that love the movie Arthur, when Liza Minnelli shoplifts the tie, that's where that's at. And then you're going to see all your big luxury brands from Tiffany's, which we're going to check out in a bit. There's also Cartier, and I think the NBA store is still around. You also have Trump Tower for those of you observers that are watching this. That'll be, you can't miss it. It's as gaudy as he is. And then also right in front of Rockefeller Center, you're going to have Saks Fifth Avenue, the original place. And again, if you can afford a shop at Saks, then at least have some of your money. And you're going to have St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is most famous from the Spider-Man movies, which are the good ones. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That's going to be right there. So if you're going to do any luxury shopping, this is going to be the place to go. You're going to love it. We'll catch you guys probably at Tiffany's. So I just finished having breakfast, so there's no need to have it here at Tiffany's. They recently redesigned this place, and even a small electrical fire a couple months ago couldn't shut it down. So if you've been here before and you have to come again, it looks completely different than how it used to be. My camera person is going to turn around and show you the little skyline that's behind you. Really, really, really Tiffany's, when you think about it, it's the luxury jewelry brand. So you're gonna want to come in. Anyone that loves jewelry, come in and watch it. And in case don't get excited or don't get freaked out, because the jewelry here doesn't have prices. And if you're broke, you know why. That means you can't afford it. There isn't anything I can afford here. I don't even know if I can afford the engraving on things. That's how little money I have. So again, if you're shopping here, just go ahead and cash at me, and I will gladly take any money that you want to get. Again, here at Tiffany's, you don't have to have breakfast here, but if you do, what the heck, man, it's New York. All right, I'll see you down there. All right, we are here at Rockefeller Center. It's a place where you're definitely going to want to visit. There's a lot of things going on. It's 50th and 5th Avenue. Right behind me, which I'm not going to have my person show, is Saks Fifth Avenue, and then to the left of that is St. Patrick's Cathedral, like I said. Very, very cool, very, very famous. Right behind me is the skating rink, and this is where they like the tree if you happen to be here during that time. Thank you. What's going to end up happening is for those of you that love Catcher in the Rye, this is where Sally was skating. All right, now when you're coming to New York, you're going to do an observation. You have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's 5 main ones. There's the Summit, there's Freedom Tower, there's the Edge, there's the Empire State Building, and there's Rockefeller Center, Top of the Rock. Out of all of them, I like Top of the Rock most. They're all great, not going to go wrong with any of them. But to me, what makes Rockefeller and Top of the Rock so great is you are right in the middle of Manhattan. 360-degree view, 3 tiers when you go up there. Now, they work a little differently than other places, because once you buy a ticket, you're actually buying a block of time. So don't expect to just buy a ticket and go straight up. If you're here, let's say at 10 o'clock in the morning, you may not be able to go on until like 11:45 or whatnot. Which is great because there's the rest of the stores to do. Right over here to my right is Netflix Wars. We also have NBC Studios, and then we have Legoland right over here. So you're going to have plenty to do while waiting to go to the top of the rock. Again, the reason I also love it is it has a fantastic view of the Empire State Building. Feel free to go to the ESP if you want, but you can't watch the Empire State Building from the Empire State Building, but you can top of the rock. That's, to me, what makes it special. To me, best observation view in the city. May not be the best exact, but the view is to die for. As a matter of fact, let's see it. Here we are at Top of the Rock again, what I think is the best observation deck. What you have right behind me is a fabulous view of the Empire State Building, which of course you can't see from the Empire State Building. 360 degrees, we're actually on the 3rd floor right now. We have the President Building, MetLife, right below that is Grand Central Station. You can see Freedom Tower in the background. You can actually see the Statue of Liberty.
We're going to go to the other side right now where you're going to have one of the best views of Central Park. You can see the Great Reservoir. You can see right over here where the Central Park Zoo is. Right over here on your right-hand side is Terrace. For those of you that have seen Ransom or John Wick 2, that's the spot you want to go to. Over to the west, you have the Hudson River, and then you have the East River going around that you can see. You can see into Jersey on a nice, clear, sunny day. If you look far up north, that's Connecticut. Right over there. Again, is it as high a view as the Empire State Building? No, it's not. Like I said, it's actually not as high as that, the Edge of Summit or Freedom Tower. Now, Freedom Tower is also pretty cool. It's at the very end of the island, but it's going to be indoors, so Summit. If you want to see outdoors and you want to get a more natural view, Top of the Rock is where you're going to want to be. All right, once again, it looks like heading out on the town. There will be several moments in which you will be pressured, dads, or you'll just feel it yourself, to take the family someplace nice. This can get quite pricey. My recommendation is Carmine's in Times Square. They have really, really big entrees that if you're feeding a family of 4, you can get by with 2 entrees. You're looking to spend about $100, not including tip, tax, and drinks. It's a really, really nice Italian place. I personally like the Chicken Farm. That's where we're heading out now with my family. Other places, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to go to the Palm, there's also Bobby Van's in the area. Really, really nice. You'll really enjoy those. But like I said, Carmine's has a lot of history, has a lot of that fine dining experience that you're looking for, and you're not going to be spending as much money. Take care. So you're done with your great and awesome New York trip. The family's had a wonderful time. You realize, shoot, I may have to buy an extra bag and check it in because the family's bought so much merchandise. It happens. The best way to do that is you will see the luggage stores right around the Times Square area. Again, the further you go, the cheaper they will be. But when you're packing up the night before, go ahead and just get one and bite the bullet. Because no matter what, you're gonna be, you're not gonna want to just send it by the mail or anything. Another thing, you'll be flying out of one of the 3 major airports. You're either going to be flying out of Newark, LaGuardia, and JFK. Your best bet, again, is going to be LaGuardia because the cab ride is going to be cheaper. The other thing you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to give yourself about 4 hours before your flight leaves in order to be sure that you have more than enough time. Because if you're flying from anywhere other than Chicago or LA, you are in a small, or Houston, I'll give you Houston. You're flying out of a smaller airport than those 3, which means the lines are going to be significantly longer. I know every time I leave San Antonio, I might send in security about 10 minutes at the most. JFK, LaGuardia, Newark, you are going to be there for 25 to 30. And this is and if you're me that constantly gets tickets off the Orbitz and Expedia, whenever they say it's time to check in, do that. You want to use the least amount of time as possible and not have to worry about if your family's going to be able to sit together or not. So give yourself enough time. I hope you enjoyed your trip to New York. Follow me. I'll eventually get some more videos going on. Everybody, God bless. Stay safe.